Hi everyone, thank you for coming to the Media and Communication Capstone Projects. As introduced, my name is Colby-Sawyer College, and I'm going to be talking about my capstone project today titled Inquietude Incarceration. So this project was a very personal journey for me, and it's something I've been wanting to make for quite some time following a different video that I made for a Video Production 1 project my freshman year here at Colby-Sawyer. I live with an autism spectrum disorder that affects my social skills, and I have suffered depression and anxiety supplemental to that diagnosis. So my experiences with an autism spectrum disorder, depression, and anxiety have all had a heavy influence on how I wanted to form the story behind my project. For my internship, I created video interviews for the Speakers Bureau at AANE. My supervisor and I is the photo in the middle. And AANE is a non-profit company dedicated to helping adolescents and adults with autism spectrum disorders. Through my work at AANE, I was able to meet adults like me who, with the right support and motivation, are able to live successful and fulfilling lives. And the stories of the people I interviewed for my project, for my internship, were also a motivating factor because I wanted to be able to depict the challenges that they faced as well, rather than just focusing exclusively on my own. And I was honored to meet Temple Grandin during my freshman year at Colby-Sawyer. For those who don't know who she is one of the first autistic people who was able to vocalize what it's like living with an autism spectrum disorder, and she's a huge inspiration to me. And believe it or not, I've been working on this long enough that I actually told her about my project and what I wanted to do. And her response to me was, if I worked hard enough, I could be just as influential as she is. And those are words that stuck with me, and I took them very personally. And it motivated me to use my differences as a means of awareness, as well as means of entertainment. So I had two goals for this project. The first was to get a conversation going about anxiety, because it tends to be one of those more taboo subjects that people don't know how to talk about. And also, and this was most important to me, I wanted to make this as authentic as possible. So my method to doing this was simple. I created multiple versions of the script that I created for my capstone, and I sat all of my cast down at a table read, which is when we all come together and read the script page by page. And we discussed what we did and didn't like about each copy of the script, and from there we decided what would work best to use for the capstone. Additionally, I encouraged the actors in my film to go with what felt natural to them. So if on the day of shooting and we were running a scene, they felt like there was something they needed to take away or something that they needed to add, they were more than welcome to do so. My audience for this project, I like to emphasize, is open to everyone, not just people who live with anxiety like myself, but also to the people who are influenced by it, whether it's family, friends, professionals, teachers, anyone who comes in touch with someone who lives with anxiety. And my message is very simple, that these disorders are not in our head or not just a figment of our imagination, but they are in fact very real, and they affect our lives every single day. One thing I knew for sure with my project that people ask me a lot about is why I didn't make my project have a happy ending. And my answer is simple, that with anxiety, there's not always an immediate happy ending. It takes a lot of work, a lot of medication, a lot of different factors that go into dealing and managing with an anxiety disorder, and I wanted to make that very evident in my film. So I'm going to show you a minute-long trailer for my project. It focuses on a girl named Casey who goes through just a day in her life as a college senior, and through the day she faces different challenges that she has to manage with her anxiety. It's Thursday. Only 2 classes today, and then I finally have the free weekend. I hope today's okay. I really don't want to have a stress day today. Recently, it's been harder. I I don't know if it's just the stress from school or the anxiety talking, but I feel like sometimes I don't fit into this school. I never thought my experiences had a name. Anxiety. It's amazing in a way. A series of nerves are working faster than they should be, and it can change a person's entire way of life. So that is just the trailer. I'm going to release the full film via YouTube on April 29th. If you have questions about that, you can ask me at the end of all of our presentations. But something that I always like to point out that I felt was super important for this is that first-person perspective was a huge factor of my project. I didn't want it to just be another person talking about anxiety. I wanted to put you into the mind of someone with anxiety and have you experience it yourself. Therefore, why I included ambient sounds such as a heartbeat or ringing of the ears, because those are all things that I have experienced while having a panic attack. So if there's only one thing to be taken away from my project, it's that invisible illnesses such as anxiety are very real. And I'm hoping by showing this video and sharing my experience among other people's experiences, that it will spark conversation and change and try to create more understanding and help for people with anxiety. At the very least, people can be kinder to each other and be more understanding and try to get rid of some of the mental stigma that comes along with having different disorders such as anxiety. And as for how this relates back to my college experience, I'd say that this is an ode to my college experience overall, because when I was diagnosed as having an autism spectrum disorder, they didn't know that much about it. They didn't know that people could live to be independent. My doctors told my parents that I would not be capable of living independently. They told me that I would not graduate high school, which the middle bottom photo I can proudly say I did. They told me I would not be able to do things that other normal children would be able to do. And through my college experience, I have been a choreographer and member of the UCSC Dance Club for the entirety of the time I've been here. I've gone on adventures with my friends. I've been able to have my very supportive family help me through the hard times of college. And here I am, a fully capable and also just so happens to be an autistic student who's doing this capstone and is sharing my experience with you guys. So my overall message is, please just believe in yourselves. Believe you can do anything, and you can. I believed in myself, I really believed in this project, and now I am so proud to say that I can share it with you, and the full film will be out on YouTube on the 29th of April. If you have any questions or comments for me, you can ask at the question and answers, or you can come up to me afterwards. Thank you so much.